Hey everyone, it's Ross from Mythic Mountains Folk Tabletop Club. I created a tool for our games and I wanted to share in case it'd be helpful for someone else. As you know, our main game that we play weekly in the Play Club is Swords and Wizardry Complete Revised by Mythmere Games, a retro clone of original Dungeons and Dragons. The thing is that this book is laid out really well for people to understand and use the game from page 1 to the final page. So if you want to know how the game works, and it's bound really beautifully, and the layout's very easy to read and use and understand, it's going to start right at the beginning, and it's going to talk to you about attribute scores, the most basic and simple thing right up front. And then from attribute scores, it's going to go straight into classes, and it's going to take you from starting to build a character sheet, rolling 3d6 down the line, and it's going to go all the way down. Sorry, a bunch of dead characters that I've got here. I run the game. I didn't say I'm good at playing it. All the way down to magic items that you might find at the very last topic or subject that you might read about. This is a great read, and it's worth it if you run the game to actually read this book from front to back, because there's lots of little details if you pay attention that the game talks about. However, what I didn't find for me is that the book is not laid out well, like as an index or a tool or something like that. If you want to do that, and you can kind of see where I already have, you're going to have to bookmark it, and you're going to have to do a lot of flipping back and forth if you're the kind of referee like I am, where you literally go down the procedures by the page and actually use the rules of the book and do challenge-based play, track encumbrance, check lights and time, the light in the dungeon and time and tracking, and you actually try to use all the rules. If you want to know the rules for what players can do in a dungeon, it's sort of tucked away in a certain place in a section called useful dungeon facts or something like that, and you kind of got to search for it a little bit. So the book is organized really well as a book, but it's not really great without lots of page flipping if you use it at the table. Now, there's also the official GM screen. I think that that's also useful. I also own it. I back the Kickstarter for a different scope of play than what I play, where when I'm in the dungeon, I have the dungeon and the encounter procedure up, and I go down step by step in a rather gamey way to present a challenge-based play and use all of the procedures in the game. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I was inspired by the Judges Guild Ready reference sheets, and also especially Traveler. Classic Traveler is similar. The book is written really well to read from front to back, and if you want to run Classic Traveler, I think that you should actually read that whole book. But the 1981 starter set has a book called Charts, and it just gets straight to it. Here's the numbers. Do you want to travel from a gas giant to a planet, or from the arrival in system to the main planet, or from a planet to a moon? This is how long it's going to take you. This is how much fuel it's going to take you. And when you run the game the way we do, you want to know those things. And so it was really helpful. The other example that I really like is this. Old School Essentials. Old School Essentials, this whole book is in A5, and look how easy it sits on this table where I run these games. And when I run the game, the only thing I have to do is ask myself, where am I? Am I in a dungeon? Right here. And I just keep it right here. And I have this and my game, my referee journal and pencil and dice in front of me, and nothing else. And I don't even think about any other rules. Sequence per dungeon turn. Check for wandering monsters. Chance, 1 in 6. No monster. Step 2. Party decides course of action. We do that. And you can run a game like this, and it will reliably produce an interesting game with interesting results, running the procedures down the line just like that. Old School Essentials is genius for this. You have the encounter and combat procedures on the back end page, and I decided I wanted that for Swords and Wizardry. So I decided that I would create that. Now, forgive, I just printed it out, so I have worn this poor journal out, but I did that. I created, if I'm in the combat procedure, I start at combat, and just like how it's written in the rules, check for surprise. Number 1, check for surprise. The monsters are surprised. They roll. The players are not surprised. The monsters are surprised. It says on a 1 that the other side that is not surprised is able to act first. Step 2, declare spells. Both sides declare spells. Bam, 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 bam. And we run the procedure right down the line. There's never any question of how it's going to go. It's this challenge-based gameplay where everybody knows what's going on. They're trying to win the game, and it's consistent, and they know what to expect. If you like running the game that way, then I have made this tool that has all of the referee-facing rules in the book. All of the referee-facing rules in Swords and Wizardry on A5 in tight charts and terse text format, so that you can run the game in this way more easily. Anyways, if that's something that you'd find useful, I included links in the description. God bless.